I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
Uh-oh, Assassin's Creed Shadow review embargo lift and Yasuke is not well received. Well, it's well received by specific outlets like IGN and specific game reviewers, but general public no.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the decidedly debonair Dr. Disaster, and the review embargo has been lifted for Assassin's Creed Shadows, meaning that the so-called professional reviewers who are given access to the game early are allowed to post their thoughts on the game, and, would you look at that, they're giving it an 82 out of 100, and I have been reliably informed by a few commenters on my videos that this is it. The jig is up.
Guess I'm a little out of my league here.
A good review score on Metacritic means that the game is good, and it's gonna sell like gangbusters. Good game, everyone.
Oh, there is just one more thing.
On the other hand, there's always the fact that gamers don't actually give a rat's ass.
From what I understood, most people who play games, they did lose all hope and all trust in game journalism. So Metacritic, IGN, Kotaku, no one even looks at it anymore. It's like saying, I'm gonna pick cat food based on a dog food reviewer.
What game journalists have to say about a game. The disconnect between journalists and regular people has been well understood for a long time now. Anyone remember this article from last year? It's time to start trusting video game reviewers.
Oh yeah. Guys, you don't get it. Game reviewers are telling you need to trust game reviewers. Don't trust the people who you can actually sit and watch play the game and realize what their actual thoughts on the game are in real time. Trust the person who played the game for an hour and was paid to like the game.
No, I don't think I will.
I mean, for cripe's sake, these are the same people who gave Dragon Age the Veilguard a freaking 82 out of 100, and then look at what gamers had to say about it, and then look at how it sold. Game journalists saying that a Ubisoft game is good is about as meaningful as a fart after a bowl of chili.
Yep.
It doesn't mean the chili is good, it doesn't mean the chili is bad. It's just something that was bound to happen. In this case, these hoity-toity journalists were always going to say that their corporate masters made a good game. And of course, Ubisoft defenders out there think...
And hey, if people call out the game journalists, they can always fall back on, no, they're just racist. No, they're just bigots. No, they're just phobic. If you disagree with their review, you're just phobic, racist, and bigot.
That this is meaningful.
That was bloody brilliant.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to support the channel by becoming a member. We've got several projects coming up, including exclusive audiobooks and a cartoon coming for members only, because it occurred to me that we can't just complain about what we don't like in our culture, we have to build culture. So, become a member if you'd like to support that venture, but anyhow, let's have a look at these Assassin's Creed Shadows reviews and get a sense of what's going on with the game. I'll tell you one thing though, of all the reviews and everything that we're going to look at, the most telling thing about this release is actually what Ubisoft is saying themselves. This news here...
I would say it's also telling reading through the entirety of the IGN review and realizing it's not a review, it's a circle jerk with actual gameplay spoilers happening. It's just them saying that how good the game is without saying or making any sense why they think it's good. Or the pointer they're pointing out why they think it's good has been done in games for the past 2 decades.
Here, which I'm sure that most of you have heard by now, is absolutely telling when it comes to Ubisoft's confidence, or lack thereof, when it comes to the future reception to this game. Ubisoft reportedly has a bunch of lawyers hired and set aside, ready to sue people for harassing their developers. As a bunch of
I mean, I get the part of not harassing. Don't harass anyone. You can make your point heard without actually harassing a person. You can just record a video, make a stream talking about it, make a post about it. It doesn't mean you should be going out of your way, DMing them, pinging them everywhere, commenting on everything they do. You can make your point heard without being a prick.
people have pointed out, this language is extremely nebulous, and it seems to be meant to scare people off from giving negative opinions of the game.
If they start going after people just for not liking the game and not liking how they're handling the whole research part, if they actually try to sue people for criticizing them, valid criticism, I think the only thing that will end up happening is Ubisoft is gonna just end up getting ridiculed even more. And it's gonna cause an even bigger divide between them and the investors who already are trying to jump ship.
After all, what constitutes harassment? For the weak little cupcakes who make up most AAA studios in the West these days, simply saying they did a bad job on a public forum seems to be harassment in their eyes. So yeah, this really sounds like a threat to anyone who wants to say an unkind word about the game. Anyhow, like I said, this is extremely telling. It says to
This reminds me, Ubisoft manually copyrighted. So we reacted to his video on stream and uploaded that reaction, and Ubisoft copyrighted his video, which means it's not automated. It means they manually went and copyrighted him.
Oh yeah, Shoei.
Yeah. Ubisoft manually copyrighted this video.
That's crazy.
Because we didn't get a copyright.
to me that Ubisoft expects people to think this is a turd, and the independent reviewers that I've seen on X who don't get a platform on Metacritic, they have been pretty negative about the game, even when they aren't necessarily trying to be. This reviewer statement gives off some pretty boggling questions. They said, Assassin's Creed Shadows is really fun. Naui is one of the most fun characters to play in the series. Yasuke is not fun to play outside of pure combat sequences. Gee, it almost sounds like he's slapped onto the story like an alien appendage, exactly as we suspected all along. He's there for the diversity points. But, reading on, it says, great graphics with a dynamic world, story is great, until you get dual protagonists, would Shinobi again? The question, though, that really...
I'm not gonna believe these reviews even for a split second. I will play this game myself on stream in front of people, and honestly, I will say I did already make up my mind that this is a very bad game. And I already know I'm not gonna like it. But I promise I will play it. And I will. But this game doesn't have any redeemable qualities. Everything they're using as a promotional scheme of, hey, this game is good because of XYZ, has been done in games decades ago. This game not even existing would have been probably better for gaming. And the company Ubisoft, it would have done so much better if it just didn't exist.
Puzzles me is why the story is great until you get dual protagonists. I thought we could play as whoever we wanted to use. If that's the case, then why wouldn't you just switch over to the character that you enjoy and let that be that? This is a sincere question, and apparently I wasn't the only one who wondered about this, and Demion actually replied to this post on X and asked a similar question, and he got a good response. He said, story is great until you get dual protags, so the opening is good because you're locked into one hero, but once you're given the option it's bad? Genuine question, by the way, what's this mean? And the
Endymion has a point. He literally is asking this quote-unquote reviewer, what does he mean like game gets worse? And again, I'll see it for myself on the 20th. That's a really weird statement.
The reviewer replied, the story loses focus and pacing gets much worse. Although the dual protag design allows for better replayability, I personally enjoy a strong narrative that has some emotional impact on me. Yasuke has a great story, but most of it is told in flashbacks, with his true motive for doing everything being revealed literally at the end of the game. This makes it hard to connect with him. By the time you fully appreciate him as a character, the game ends. So
does that mean that they literally were not planning to even do the bare minimum writing for him? Did they add all of that only like at the very end? Why they delayed it?
Kind of sounds like it. It kind of sounds like it was supposed to be just Yasuke.
I don't think it was supposed to. Actually, I don't know. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised about anything. There's a lot of speculations about it. Anyways, I will take the game as it is. I will take the game as they describe themselves. Ubisoft said themselves. Historically accurate, with Japanese historians consulting them on this game. So, based on what they said, on this basis, I will be talking about this game and playing this game.
once again, as someone who does a spot of writing myself, it really does sound to me like Yasuke was just grafted onto this story, like a little kid making an art project and not knowing when to quit. They just have to glue on as much macaroni as possible, even if it takes away from the original art. Anyhow.
Okay, for me, the way Yasuke is coming off in Assassin's Creed Shadow is they want to portray him in this game as this massive underdog that's overcoming all the obstacles and becoming the ultimate samurai without being the samurai. But there's one key thing they forgot, is that they put their foot in their mouth saying it's historically accurate and that the character is unlikable from everything they showed so far.
Then this independent reviewer here wrote, I did not enjoy Assassin's Creed Shadows combat and exploration. It felt restrictive and unbalanced. Story? Mostly boring.
Damn.
The duo protagonists never clicked for me, and one is far more enjoyable to play, but is hamstrung by baffling design. But
okay, I'm assuming the second one person is talking about Naoi.
let's read some of the reviews from Metacritic, keeping in mind that these are, once again, the same people who gave the same exact score to Dragon Age the Veilguard as they gave here to Assassin's Creed Shadows. But anyhow, we'll look at a few of the highest scores and a few of the lower ones, just to get you a sense of what is being said on Metacritic. NME gave it 100 out of 100 and wrote, Assassin's Creed Shadows is the series refresh badly needed after Valhalla, showcasing a huge technical and visual upgrade alongside a new gameplay blueprint. A fantastic story and well-developed characters ground the game in a believable era of Japan that is fun.
Wait. 100 out of 100. Assassin's Creed Shadow is the series refresh badly needed after Valhalla, showcasing a huge technical and visual upgrade alongside a new gameplay blueprint, a fantastic story, and well-developed character ground the game in a believable era of Japan that is fun to explore. It confidently sets the standard for the next game in the franchise. A huge technical and visual upgrade sets the standard for the next game in the franchise. I would say so, considering that Ubisoft is going bankrupt. Yes. definitely sets the new standard of how to bankrupt your own company. Yeah.
To explore. It confidently sets the standard for the next games in the franchise. And then VG247 also gave it 100, and they said, there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure, and I have to pipe in here and say, then why give it a 100? That's supposed to be a score for a perfect game, you idiots. Anyhow, they said,
I guess they paid that well. Allegedly.
but it's so fun to play. It's telling a gripping story, and there is so much sense of progress and reward for every little thing you do that it actually feels like an open world game that's taking its cues from a modern roguelike or something. Every action has meaning, and the breadcrumbs that tempt you to clean up all the icons on the map are Moorish. This may be one of the biggest Assassin's Creed games ever made.
Where are they getting these reviewers? It's not like even Craigslist quality. It's like Lasco at a bar on a Wednesday night quality.
Sounds like Chat GPT.
But it also feels like the most well put together. Alright, so you get the picture with the guys at the top of the curve for the review scores. They are clearly just Ubisoft ass kissers, but here is what they say at the bottom of the curve. Fingerguns gave it a 70 of 100 and wrote, outside of the new, most sought-after destination of feudal Japan, Assassin's Creed Shadows never really escapes its own shadow of boilerplate gameplay systems and its tried and true open-world formula the series is known for. Whilst the game is at the same high standard as every other entry, it doesn't truly excel at anything more specific. Metro Game Central also gave it a 70 and said, if you've never liked Assassin's Creed, this won't win you over, but Shadows is a well-made and exciting iteration that's impressively well-polished, even if it lacks any significant new ideas. And all the way at the bottom of the reviews, there's Dual Shockers, who gave it a 55 of 100, and they said, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a bloated collection of uninspired quests that quickly turn into a repetitive, boring grind, while the art and history teams deserve recognition.
Come on. The art and history teams deserve recognition for their effort.
They're capping so hard.
It's a literally... Like, how are you expecting people to not think that you guys are literally the offspring of participation trophy era? Just show up and you get a trophy.
For their efforts, it's all unfortunately wasted on a narrative that goes nowhere, is poorly explained, and has no satisfying resolutions. None of the changes and tweaks that Ubisoft brought to the table move the needle, and the game is ultimately more frustrating than it is fun. This is a game that desperately needed to succeed, and instead collapses under its own weight. Future Assassin's Creed releases need to innovate instead of being yet another rehash of games we've already played in different locations. There are other open world games in similar settings that are much more worthy of your time. As for me...
Hold up. There are other open world games in similar setting that are much more worthy of your time.
Games in similar settings that are much more worthy of your time. As for me, that tells me everything I need to know. The game doesn't interest me at all, and in fact, the more I hear about it, the more it seems glaringly obvious that they went well out of their way to shove Yasuke into the story for social justice points, like someone slipping poison into your drink. I'm not interested, but I'm gonna leave it there. What do you guys think?
Well, two more days. 2 more days. And I'm also giving it 2 more days up until the first videos are gonna start popping up of comparing Assassin's Creed Shadow to the previous Assassin's Creed games and like the Ronin games, Ghost of Tsushima, same as we saw with the previous games like Veilguard and Avowed.